BNPtv has come to Plymouth to talk to the local organiser, Tony, about the local Labour Party. Tony, what's going on down here?
Yes, we conducted an investigation into the sale of the Labour Party constituency headquarters in the centre of Plymouth, and we discovered that they applied for planning permission for their premises at the beginning of this year for conversion of those premises into residential use, specifically 8 flats.
So presumably now 8 flats are being built, is that right?
Well, yes, planning permission was granted by the local council in April of this year, and it was put on the market, and our understanding is that a developer had actually made a bid for these premises for conversion into residential use. Now, the interesting thing is that as part of the Labour Party planning submission, the Labour Party themselves argued that this would be a far better use of the premises for residential use. It would be more good neighbour use of the premises than its existing use as a meetings hall.
So therefore, I think we can take it that the Labour Party want this building to be converted into flats, is that correct?
Well, apparently not, no. We've been doing some more digging, and we understand it would appear that a deal has been done between the Labour Party and a local Islamic group for conversion into a mosque, and so it would appear that it's not going to be for residential use after all, and in fact a deal has been done between the Labour Party and this group.
And is there any sign so far of activity among these Islamic people in the area?
Well, I guess so, but the real concern, I think, is that there's been no public debate about these issues or public scrutiny regarding the use of this premises, and people are very much in the dark about what's going on, and there's a great deal of public concern.
Have we had a reaction from local residents yet on this subject?
Yes, we've had some reaction, and basically the reaction is that they're extremely surprised because they've seen the sign outside the premises, which still, even now, in December of this year, shows the premises as having been granted planning permission for residential use, and basically that's what the local residents have believed and have always believed, that that's what the purpose of the original application was for.
Do you therefore think that this has something to do with the Labour Party's plans for Plymouth as a whole?
Well, very possibly. The Labour Party have previously committed themselves to, as they put it, make Plymouth a multicultural city by the year 2020. So this will be very much in line with their grand project for the city of Plymouth.
So this is presumably just the beginning of some bigger scheme that's to come later, is that correct in your opinion?
Well, I think that's very much the concern, particularly as this hasn't really been in the public domain. We've seen the Labour Party say one thing in the original application, that it would be a more good neighbour use of the property for it to be converted into residential use, which is what local people want, and then we find apparently that the Labour Party are cutting deals in the background without properly informing the people.
Another issue that could be raised here, of course, is the general housing situation in Plymouth. And do you know if there is a shortage in Plymouth?
Oh, very much so. There has been for many years now a shortage of affordable homes, particularly for young people and young couples wanting to buy their first home and take the first step on the housing ladder. And so this would have been a very welcome scheme if it had gone ahead as residential use, but apparently it seems that wasn't within the Labour Party scheme of things.
Am I therefore right in assuming that many local people who can't afford their first home or can't even get a rented property in Plymouth are going to feel pretty aggrieved by a development like this?
Well, I would be pretty certain that they would, yes. I think they would be very disappointed at the way that the Labour Party has behaved. We can see that the planning application would have bumped the price up for this property considerably. Planning application granted for residential property bumps it up, but we wonder whether that was the motivation behind it in the first place.
Are you aware of the amount of money that's been paid for this property to the Labour Party?
Not specifically, no. We know that the group that want to turn it into a mosque have said that they need to raise £410,000, which is a considerable amount of money. They've already raised £220,000, which for a small charity is quite an extraordinary amount. And some people may wonder, well, where has this money actually come from? It's very difficult to find the roots of the funding for this project.
Is anyone aware of the amount of money that the property would have gained for the party had it become residential?
Yes, I mean that's open to speculation, I think, but there will be very big question marks about the amount of money that the Labour Party are actually benefiting from in this particular deal, and I think many people will be asking those questions.
No, it just strikes me that perhaps had the property become residential, the Labour Party could have got even more money for it.
Well, I mean, the suspicion is that the Labour Party will be asking the full market value for this property regardless of its ultimate use, and I think people will be asking this question, is this Islamic group paying the full market value, and where is the money being actually sourced from?
So therefore there is possibly a political agenda underneath this sale, you think?
I think that's what most people will come to the conclusion. Yes, I think it's pretty transparent.